जय। श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। Now I humbly request you to please listen attentively. My topic is the science of devotion, and this is the third of the 5-day series. So far we have learned that although scriptures tell us about other paths that can lead us to our destination, yet the only path that is complete in itself and that does not need any help from any other path, and indeed the only one that can lead us to our destination, is bhakti, devotion. The path of devotion is open to everyone, without exception. Devotion can be practiced any place, any time. Na desha niyamas tasmin, na kala niyamas tatha. There is no hard and fast rule about the time when it must be practiced or the place where it must be practiced. Devotion can be performed with any material, meaning we can offer anything to God. Patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, a leaf, a flower, a fruit, even water. Anything can be offered with devotion, and the Supreme Lord will accept it. So we have come to know that devotion is the only path. And knowing this much helps us greatly, because now we can walk on the path rather than wondering which path we must follow. This evening I'll continue with my topic. Devotion is something that must be practiced by the mind. We ask the question, what is it that practices devotion? Is it our various parts of the body, the 5 sense organs, which are called the senses of perception, Jnanendriya? Is it the eyes, the ears, the tongue, the skin, or the nose that practices devotion? These are the 5 senses of perception. It is through these 5 that we perceive the chariot itself, that is the body, the physical body. The chariot driver is the buddhi, the intellect. The reins, the bridle in the hands of the chariot driver, that is our mind. The horses pulling the chariot are the senses. So this chariot is traveling incessantly, and it will keep on traveling, it will keep on traveling until the destination is reached. The passenger is a soul, and the soul is a quiet passenger. It doesn't say anything, it doesn't do anything. The only thing is that when the destination has been reached, Anandapur, the city of bliss, in other words, God, who is Anando Brahmeti Vajanat, Taittiriya Upanishad says that God is Anand, unlimited, everlasting, and ever-increasing happiness. When the destination is reached, the soul will say, that's it, stop, no more traveling. So the soul does not do anything. It is the mind that does everything. Mind and intellect together, let's call it the mind. Mind, we call it the mind when it is thinking and desiring and resolving to do something. We call it buddhi or intellect when it is deciding on what to do. But greater than the mind, it's the only when the mind is performing it, only then is it called a karma, action that bears fruit. So devotion is to be practiced by the mind. Well, what about the other part? What about the parts of the body? What about the sense organs? Should we not practice devotion with them? Actually, scriptures say that we should use them also. We should engage them in the practice of bhakti. The Bhagavad Mahapuran, for instance, says, Bilevato rukrama vikramanye na shrinvatah karna pute narasya jihva sati dar durikeva sut na chopagayatyuru gaya gatha Bharah param patta kirita jushta mapyuttamangam nanamen mukundam shavau karauno kurutah saparyam harer lasat kanchana kankanauva. In the Bhagavad, this is Canto 2, Chapter 3, verses 20 and 21. What is Bhagwan Vedavyas saying in these two verses? Those of you who know Hindi will be able to better understand Pankha Kar Lekha. Tulsidas ji and Vedavyas, Ram Gun Gana Jihaso Dadur Jiha Samana, the tongue that refuses to chant the glory of God, and then a frog's croaking. Jihaso Dadur Jiha Samana. Dadur is a frog. Mendak. And Tulsidas ji and Vedavyas ji further go on to say that the body that does not experience goosebumps upon hearing the name of God and the pastimes of God, it's not a living body, it is actually a dead body. The heart that does not melt when hearing the glory of God and the merciful pastimes of God, the nectarian pastimes of God, it is made of. There are two areas only. Vishaya chittam mayyeva praviliyate. Bhagavad Mahapuran. And I want to see you. I badly want to see you. I truly want to serve you with my own hands. I want to be with you in your divine kingdom, Golok. Maharaj, countless lifetimes have passed, I have yet to see you. If the mind is thinking such thoughts, then it's obvious that the mind will become more and more attached to Sri Krishna. And to help the mind along, we need to take the help of our senses. We need a lot of help. Our mind needs a lot of help to think about Sri Krishna. What should we do? Well, some people do havan. No, they build a sacred fire and they throw the prescribed ingredients into it, and then the mantras are recited, and when you put in the ingredients in the fire, you say swaha. But when we do that, we're concentrating. We find that we are concentrating only on swaha. That's it. The mind is going all over the world. The mind is thinking about the world. The mind is thinking, when this havan is over, I'm going to talk to my friends. I see the friends I have not seen for a year. I'm going to talk to my friends. Or I'm feeling hungry. After the havan, I think there's some delicious food waiting for me. Prasad. I can't wait. The mind is thinking of something or the other, and the hands are throwing the ingredients, the samagri in the havan kund, and the ears are just listening to the pandit reciting the mantras. We don't understand what is being said. All we understand is swaha, and I must throw the ingredients in the fire. So this yajna, havan, it doesn't seem to help us to think of God. When we do ritualistic puja, we gather the ingredients like coconut and red cloth or the white cloth and incense and fruits and this and that. We gather them all up and then we do the puja. We become more concerned with what is to be done next. And do I have all the ingredients? The puja is being done and the Panditji says, okay, Yajman, where is the coconut? And the coconut is nowhere in sight. The wife says to the husband, through her eyes, where is it? And he said, I don't know. I thought you had it. And she is looking very angrily and saying, what's going on? You don't remember anything? And now they start talking. Where is the coconut? नारियल कहाँ है? अरे तुम्हें कहा था. I told you to get it. तुम्हें नहीं लिखा था, लिस्ट में नहीं था. अरे अपना दिमाग नहीं है, सोच नहीं सकते. You don't have a brain of your own. You don't know they need a coconut. And there's fight going on. And the yajna, the havan, is being done for peace in the family. And there's a fight between them. So the puja is being done, but we're just concentrating on having the necessary ingredients. What should I do with this hand? And what should I do now? And what am I being asked to do now? Now offer a flower. Now offer the milk. Now offer the water. Now offer this chandan. And karma rahi. Dwapar kari raghupati pad puja. Nar bhavatariya upaya na duja. कली जुग केवल हरि गुण गाहा गावत नर पावत फल भव थाहा. At many places in the Ramayana, the same thing is said about the method to be used in the age of Kali, the present age, Kali Yuga, in order to take the mind to God easily. But anyhow, in Krita Yuga or Satya Yuga, the prescribed method for meditating on God, for bringing God into the mind, is quiet meditation. You just sit down and you recite a mantra in your mind and you're able to meditate on God. But that was for Satyug. The prescribed method, the fastest method, the most effective method for the age of Treta Yuga, when Bhagwan Ram descends to earth, that Treta Yuga, the prescribed method is puja. No, sorry, yajna, havan. Havan is for Treta Yuga. And then comes Dwapar, when Bhagwan Sri Krishna descends to earth towards the end of Dwapar. And the prescribed method is ritualistic puja. You do puja and your mind will go to God. But these methods do not work in Kali Yuga. They don't work. For Kali Yuga, there is only one method that works very nicely, and that is bhajan kirtan, chanting of the holy name. Chant the holy name, chant the glory of God, chant the name of God, chant the pastimes of God, chant the attributes of God. And your mind will go easily towards God. Chanting of the holy name. That is the prescribed method in Kali Yuga. So why are we trying other methods? Certainly we do not know more than God. When our Lord and Master has said, in Kali Yuga, no other method will work. Silent meditation will not work. And isn't that our experience also? When our Creator, our Lord and Master, our Supreme Teacher, has said that puja, ritualistic puja, does not work in the age of Kali, then do we know any better? Sri Maharaj Ji, Jagadguru Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj, tells us of a true incident from his life. Sri Maharaj Ji was now Jagadguru, the fifth Jagadguru. He had gotten the title of Jagadguru. He was only 34, but he looked much younger than that. And his aim was always to dispel the misconceptions about Hinduism and to reveal a true path leading to God. So Sri Maharaj Ji visited someone who had the entire Ramayana memorized. There are many versions of the Ramayana. So this gentleman had memorized the entire Ramayana written by Saint Tulsidas, the Ramcharitmanas as it is otherwise called. So he had memorized the entire Ramayana, and that was his claim to fame. Jog, na jap, tap, brat, makh, puja. Not fasting, not the path of yoga. Yoga na jap, not jap. Tap, the tapascharya, the penance. These methods will not help you. And one of those methods was puja. And this gentleman was just doing puja. And he knows that, or rather I should say, he has memorized all the verses of the Ramayana. Sri Maharaj Ji said, then Maharaj Ji recited another one. Kali Yuga Keval, and he said, Kali Yuga Keval Hari Gun Gaha. That in Kali Yuga, the only method of taking, the most effective method and the only recommended method of thinking about God is Nam Sankirtan. And puja will not help you. So Sri Maharaji recited many chapais, many verses from the Ramayana, and the one who had memorized the Ramayana, he kept on completing Sri Maharaji's words. So Maharaji said, I beg your forgiveness, but you have memorized the Ramayana, and all these verses from the Ramayana are saying that puja is not the prescribed method for this age. He was surprised, but he dismissed Sri Maharaji. He thought this is some atheist who has come to create trouble. He said, no, bacha, you don't know. Tum nahi jante, bache. And because he was much older than Sri Maharaji, and so he dismissed Maharaji. Maharaji went away. Now, the funny thing is that this gentleman was looking forward to listening to Jagat Guru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj. He had never seen Jagat Guru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, but he was thinking, I'm looking so forward to listening to him. So the next day, he went to, in Kali Yug, age of Kali, is by chanting the holy name. Namaiva Namaiva mama jivanam kalau nastyeva gatiranyatha. Skanda Puran. Meaning is the same, message is the same. In the age of Kali, there's only Nam Sankirtan that can help you meditate on God. There's no other way, no other way, no other way. God is saying this 3 times. In the first line, 3 times, he's saying, only Nam Sankirtan, only Nam Sankirtan, only Nam Sankirtan. Hare Namaiva, Namaiva, Namaiva Mama Jivanam. In the second verse, the second line, I should say, he's saying 3 times again, there's no other way, no other way, no other way. Why is he saying this? Because he knows how we are. He knows about his children, how stubborn we are. We'll use our own intellect. It doesn't matter that God is saying in the scriptures that only Nam Sankirtan, only Gun Sankirtan, only Leela Sankirtan, but we will use our own intellect. No, I think I know better than God. I know better than the Purans. I know better than the Vedas. I know better than the Ramayana. So God is saying, listen, I'm telling you not once, not twice, but 3 times. So go ahead and do this. Don't be stubborn. All right. So now we know what we need to do. But I can't be chanting all the time. I can't be chanting all the time. I can chant for a little bit, but then what then? So what should I do? What should I do in life to bring God into my mind using this prescribed method of Nam Sankirtan? Well, we can do Sankirtan for an hour or 2 every day. And we need to schedule that time. You know how our mind works, right? We all know. The mind says, you don't have the luxury of spending 1 hour, 2 hours, forget it. Not even 1 hour doing this. You don't have the luxury, forget it. It's not for you. You are very busy. Our mind will tell us this. We need to schedule that time. I need to schedule this time, and I will guard that privacy, private moments with God, with my Shyam Sundar. I'll guard those very jealously. I will not let anyone else have that time. So we need to schedule the time that we can spend in bhajan and kirtan. If we don't sing ourselves, we can hear somebody else's singing. We have so many gadgets, so many means of listening to bhajans and kirtans. And then we should sing along or sing after. And this listening and singing will help us to bring God into the mind, bring Shyam Sundar into the mind. And I must point out over here that the knowledge of instruments is very, very, very instrumental. No greed for God and to think more and more about God, that greed is supremely beneficial for us. Sita Ram Charan Rati More Anudin Badhai Anugrah Tore. May my love for Sita and Ram grow day by day. Anudina badhai, with your grace, my Lord. May I love your lotus feet more and more with every passing day. So there should be a greed within us. So we should spend at least 1 hour every day, and preferably in the beginning of the day, the start of the day. So that sets the pace for the entire day. The addiction does come, that divine addiction, you do experience it. It takes some time. Sadhana, practice, is the life of a sadhak. For the sadhak, for the practitioner of devotion, the practice of devotion is life itself. So for at least an hour, the seeker must practice in private. When no one else is there, he has his privacy. No one is disturbing him. No one is saying, do this for me, do that for me. Phone calls have not started. The meetings have not started yet. That time is a wonderful time in which to think about Sri Krishna. But the mind has a mind of its own. The mind says, well, I don't wish to think of him. You're now taking me to a foreign territory. I have been very happily busy with the material world. You're taking me to another area, and I'm not good with this. So the mind does go away from God. The mind does go away. It does go to the world. But at that time, in those times, what we must do is to be very proactive. And what I'm sharing with you has been taught by Jagat Guru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj, who gives very lucid answers to everyone's questions. Every seeker wants to know, how do I really fall in love with Sri Krishna? It's not enough for the Guru to say, go ahead and love Sri Krishna. प्यार करो तुम सब लोग, उन्हीं से प्यार करना है, वही तुम्हारे सब कुछ है. He alone is yours, so go ahead and love him. And somebody says, Guruji, how? Guruji says, stop, be quiet, just do it. Just do it. The slogan for Nike. That's what I should do. I don't know how to just do it. I don't know how to fall in love with him. I don't know what to do. Well, no, you're asking too many questions. And by the way, my vow of we can decide for ourselves. So when the mind goes here and there, what should I do? Well, you just, wherever you just in your mind, you place Lord Krishna there. Oh, okay. You mean I shouldn't bring the mind back to Sri Krishna? I should just take Lord Krishna where the mind is? Exactly. That's a more effective method. I'll try it. We'll try it. We say, really, it is a much easier method. It's more effective. Because all we have heard is, you bring the mind back. You start thinking about Lord Krishna again. But the mind doesn't do that. So Sri Maharaj Ji, Jagat Guru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj, you take Lord Krishna wherever the mind has gone. And in this way, the mind starts getting trained. We're training the mind is under training then. We're training the mind, that's what we're doing. Training the mind to think about Sri Krishna. And then you've trained it, you've tried to train it for 1 hour, 60 minutes. And in those 60 minutes, don't be discouraged if your mind has thought of Sri Krishna for only 2 minutes. That's it. That's not failure. That is success. You thought of Sri Krishna for 2 minutes out of 60. Okay, that's good. Next day, you'll be able to think of him for 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Gradually, 10 minutes. Gradually, this training of the mind, if it is continuous, if it is diligent practice, then results are seen. We do see the results. It cannot be that we're doing diligent practice and we don't see any results. A gentleman once asked me, he said, I've been following my Guru for 15 years, but my anger is out of control. And I said, I'll be very blunt with you. One of the two things is wrong. Either your Guru is wrong, or you're not doing the sadhana that he has prescribed. He said, no, I do the sadhana. I said, well, I cannot say any more. How can it be that you are trying to train your mind for 15 years and you have not gotten your anger under control? It cannot be. It doesn't work this way. The Guru is right. He has told you what to do, and you're doing it. And you are diligently practicing what the Guru has said. And you're not seeing the results. You don't have your anger under control. It cannot be. Either you're just thinking you're doing the practice, or you have been given the wrong information. So we should not give up, just like we don't give up in the world. We don't give up, do we? In the world. For the sake of the stomach, we never give up. For the sake of the body, we never give up. We keep trying. Try again, we say. Try again. If you fail this time, try again. Study harder, you'll succeed. We don't say, I can't, I failed. I'll just stay in grade 2. I'll just stay in grade 5. I'll just stay here. I failed. No, we try again and again. So we should do that. And then we should try to bring Shyamsundar into our mind, even in the midst of the busy marketplace called the world. This world is like a marketplace, it's a bazaar, and it's a busy, busy marketplace. People are coming and going and talking, and there's so much going on, so many activities. But we also know that Shyamsundar is everywhere. He's everywhere, he's watching, he's the eternal witness. And he is there, but I'm not able to see him. But I can certainly bring him to my mind. I can certainly think of him. I can certainly try to visualize him. I can certainly do Roop Dhyan. So in the midst of my meeting, the meeting is going on, and I envision Shyamsundar in that meeting. And he's winking at me. He's laughing at me. He's teasing me, showing me his teeth like this. And he's saying, oh, you're falling asleep. Wake up. He's right there in the meeting. He's right there in the mall as I go shopping. He's right there as I read my book, as I study, as I teach, as I perform surgery. Whatever I'm doing throughout the day, I'm going to think of him every so often. Every so often. We shouldn't think I'm so busy, because Arjun, I don't think we could be busier than Arjun and more distracted than Arjun. We don't have more reasons for being distracted than Arjun had. He was on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and he was fighting a battle. Now, please tell me if you're busier than Arjun, or you're in a more distracting place. Battle is going on, and Arjun is thinking about Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna has told him, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha. Chapter 8, verse 7, Bhagavad Gita. Oh Arjun, fight the battle. That's your duty. Do it physically only. But mind, don't put your mind on the battle. Don't attach your mind to the battle. Attach the mind to me. Do two things at once. Fight the battle and think of me at the same time. So Arjun is doing that. Shri Krishna gave such an amazing lecture to Arjun, and thereby to all of us. But let's talk about Arjun only. He gave this message of the Gita to Arjun, not in a quiet place in a lecture hall or under a tree somewhere in a very nice park or garden or forest. No. Or not even in the palace somewhere where there's privacy and you can concentrate. He gave it in the middle of the battlefield. When Arjun is when the Mahabharata is about to start. In Mahabharata war, it lasted 18 days. And Arjun is fighting the battle. When you fight the battle, you have to protect yourself and you have to attack the enemy. Arjun is doing that. So just think of how attentive he had to be to make sure that no one kills him. And also he had to work so hard to kill the enemy. And yet his mind is on Shri Krishna. So now, tell me, does anybody have an excuse? Does anybody in the world, does any one of us have any excuse not to think of him? Can one of us say, I don't have the time? We don't. That's not a valid excuse. So, throughout the day, like a monkey trainer trains his monkey, so we must train our monkey-like mind. Graha grihit punivat vash te puni bichi mar tahi pyaya varuni kahiye kaha upachar. Tulsidas ji says, think of a monkey that is mischievous by nature. Monkey cannot stand still, cannot sit still. It has to be jumping around all the time. And that monkey is suffering from hysteria, Vayu Rog. So just imagine, if you will, a hysterical monkey. It's so much more mischievous now. And then imagine that a scorpion bites that monkey, and the monkey is in pain. It's writhing in pain. It's become even more mischievous. And then some fool came along and gave alcohol to drink to the monkey. The monkey's an animal. The monkey drank it, whatever it was given. So now the monkey has become extremely, extremely jumpy and mischievous. We asked Tulsidas ji, Maharaj, why do you speak of a monkey and scorpion bite and this and that, alcohol? Why? Tulsidas ji says, I just want to tell you what your mind is like. Oh, I see. Our mind is so mischievous. It is so mischievous. But yet, we also know that there are monkey trainers who train their monkeys, and those monkeys perform skits. And when they perform skits in little villages and towns in India, then people throw money at them, and that's how a monkey trainer earns his money. He earns his livelihood in this way. But how did he train his monkey? He took a rope, 100 feet long rope, 100-foot long rope, and he tied the monkey with that rope. The monkey did not like it. The monkey started jumping and wanted to go outside the area of 100 feet, but when it did so, it felt the pain. And the monkey thought, all right, I'll just jump around in this area. After a couple of weeks, when the monkey had made peace with the restricted area, the clever trainer cut down the length of the rope to 50 feet. The monkey wanted to go further, and the monkey is confused. I was able to go much further up until yesterday. And now what happened? The monkey cannot figure it out. All the monkey knows is, if I try to go beyond this area, the rope is choking my neck. So I will jump within this area. Then the monkey trainer cuts down the rope further to 20 feet, then 15, 10, 5. Ultimately, there's 1 foot of rope left. What does the monkey think now? Are apan baitho yahin par. Let me just sit here. There's no room to jump around. And now what does the monkey trainer do? Right now, the monkey trainer trains the monkey to perform skits and so on. It's a brilliant method, and that is the same method we should use. Our monkey-like mind, we should keep it tied with the rope of Shyam Sundar. And then let the monkey mind go wherever it goes. But we should think about Shyam Sundar for 1 moment in 1 hour. Just for 1 second every hour. I'm starting my work and Shyam Sundar is on this chair. In your mind, he's on this chair in front of you, or on the table, or on the ceiling. That's it. And then after 1 hour, he's still there. Another hour passes, you look up, he's still there. Throughout the day, he's there. Every hour on the hour. You are training your mind. It is a logical method. It's a practical method. It is a method that works. When the mind is trained to think about Shyam Sundar for 1 moment every hour, then you cut down the length of the rope to every 45 minutes, then every 30 minutes, then every 20 minutes, every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes, then every minute. Ultimately, with diligent practice, our mind will think about God every minute and then every moment. When we read in the Gita, Lord Krishna saying that, think of me at all times, we think, we put the Gita down, he said, can't do it. I cannot do it, this is impossible. But what seems impossible becomes possible with that magic formula called become trained to think of him effortlessly. So in the remaining 2 days, I'll be speaking about these. बोलिए श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय, लाडली लाल की जय, जय जय श्री राधे, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Now we can have a Q&A session. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand and someone will come up and give you a mic that you can speak in. Yes. Radhe Radhe.
Okay. Didiji, my question is around
Let's say you're in a place where there are other people and you cannot just go ahead and do the Radhe Nam breathing. So that would not be jap. No.
Okay. Thank you, Didiji.
Welcome. Yes.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
So in that 1 hour karma sannyas, I know Sankirtan, but alone, sitting alone, doing 1 hour by yourself, continuously singing, it's very difficult.
You don't have to. You can put on a kirtan bhajan. So I do that myself. You get somebody else to sing for you. So it could get tiring. So you just listen to the bhajan and kirtan, and you can. But you should also sing after the lead singer, because that will help you. But you're not continuously singing and you go out of breath. You don't have to do that. Take your time.
So Didiji, in a daily basis, should we do the daily prayer? Should we do the daily prayer? And then, should we include daily prayer and arti part of the karma sannyas? Let's say I'm doing 1 hour, full hour.
Yes.
What should be the agenda like?
So you can do the daily prayer, and artis are always good to do. You feel that arti should. It's not a necessity that you do exactly that. You do have the freedom that whether you recite the daily prayer or not, you have the freedom. Main thing is, I would say, the main thing is to do to sing the devotional songs that Sri Maharaji has given, has gifted to us. And if you feel like doing the daily prayer, by all means. But there's no hard and fast rule about you have to do this and that and that. But if you feel that doing the daily prayer really helps you set the pace for your sadhana, then go ahead and do it. If not, that's okay. You want to spend more time in bhajans and kirtans, then go ahead and do that. That prayer is a lovely prayer. It's an essence of all the scriptural teachings. And Sri Maharaji has given us that. It's a very lovely prayer. But whether you recite that or not as part of your daily sadhana, you have the freedom to choose. But main thing is the Roop Dhyan. Roop Dhyan.
Thank you, Didiji.
You're welcome.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Didiji, I just had a question. So it kind of goes well with the lecture today, but in this age of affluence and comfort and conveniences and worldly social circles and you name it, houses, cars, boats, second homes, vacations, how important is it if we really want to make spiritual progress, not casual, but serious spiritual progress, like you're talking about God realization? Do we need to kind of scale back on some of that? And because it just seems like when there's so many choices to actually, it seems like it's harder than to do the sadhana or whatever the God time that you're going to set.
Absolutely, yes. In answer to your question, definitely the one who wants, but some have more than others. That you become less worldly, you get godly benefit. You keep only very, very good friends or few friends. You don't need to have so many friends. Cut down on social media. Naturally, because we can't be doing both things at once. We can't have our 2 feet in 2 different boats. But you're living in the world and there's some amount of social interaction. Definitely you have to have that. But when it comes to limiting it, that, yes, that has to be done. Absolutely. Then we make our choices. Is this giving me more? Is this giving me more? And soon the mind does decide. The person does decide, I think this is the higher taste. And then, it's nothing forced. That's the wonderful thing about it. When you start tasting the nectar of Sri Krishna, then it's like a no-brainer. Like, no, I'll reject this and I'll accept this. It's just a no-brainer. So in the beginning, yes, you have to, okay, no, I will say no to this, yes to this. So you're right, you have to scale down and you have to choose wisely. I go to this place and there are a lot of people there, and there are a lot of people who like to mock God, or they like to say, what are you involved in? And, what is this Radhe Radhe? And, you go to these lectures, are you becoming a sadhu? Are you becoming a saint? What do you want to be, And are you going to leave your wife? Are you going to leave your husband? People make all sorts of comments. Or you become Surdas, Tulsidas, you become Mirabai. What's going on? You don't do that. You're a worldly person, just remain in this area. A lot of people will say a lot, but you have to just know what you're doing, and then you make up your mind where you get more happiness from.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, can you come to the mic?
So, hello, Didi. So,
Radhe Radhe.
I was wondering, I know for a fact that at least adults, a little bit, they can control their mind, but usually kids, we get like really distracted and really like with everything around us and all that. I'll even admit I'm like that sometimes. But so, and I know that redirecting thing, it's easier for adults maybe to do that, but even for kids, they may be like thinking of Krishna and then they might be like, oh.
So you said that the path of liberation is singing kirtan and devotional songs, but not puja. But what is puja? And you gave that example, and Kripalaji Maharaj is saying, don't do puja, or why are you doing puja? Can you explain that aspect?
Absolutely, yes. So the path of, the method of practicing devotion and thinking about God, the best one for Kali Yuga is Nam Sankirtan, Gun Sankirtan. Not puja meaning the Vidhi wali puja, wo puja. You take water, you take milk, havan, vagara, rituals, all those. Though there's nothing wrong with them, but these methods are they're not effective in Kali Yuga. There's nothing wrong with them. It's great to do puja, but for this age, that